Bonjour tout le monde. Hello, my name is Marie-Claude and welcome. Today we are going to be in the kitchen to make some Rutabaga Casserole. It is one of the dishes that has been on our Thanksgiving table for many years. But first I thought we'd start in the garden and harvesting those Rutabagas. So here we go. Okay, we're now in the garden, and I haven't given a tour of the garden yet. It's kind of off season in November. There's not much of anything growing. I have some cabbages in the upper garden and some Brussels sprouts, and I'm not too hopeful about the Brussels sprout, but I'm hoping that the cabbages will yield or be ready to be harvested in about 3 weeks or so. It's mid-November. We're in an agriculture zone 6B where I'm located. And so pretty much it's kind of the end of the fall season for us. We need to harvest our rutabagas from the bed. Rutabagas are a cold crop. I sow only usually one bed, just enough to have for Thanksgiving and Easter casserole, and some cubed rutabaga that I freeze that we eat with potatoes and carrots as roasted vegetables. I sow them in mid-July, and I hope to harvest them beginning of November. This year they were very slow. Something was not right with the garden. But today is the day we're getting them out of the ground and inside to make a rutabaga casserole. So here we go. Everyone, thank you for joining me inside. We're going to make the rutabaga casserole now. What I've already done is I've already peeled and diced my rutabagas that I got from our garden. As I mentioned, my harvest wasn't the greatest. My rutabagas were maybe 2 inches, 2.5 inches in diameter, and so they were very small. The ones that you get in the grocery store or from the farm are probably bigger than that. Not very happy with my rutabaga harvest this year, but we have enough for a casserole, so we're good to go. But I did get this one at the grocery store. When we get those, at least down here in the United States or in Pennsylvania, unless you get them at a farmer's market where they're fresh, when we get them at the grocery store, they're coated with wax, and that's to preserve them because they tend to bruise a lot. And to prevent that bruising, they coat them with wax coating. So what we're going to do first is to remove that wax coating and peel our vegetables and then wash them really good before we use them. Rutabagas, again, if you get them in the grocery store or even at the farmer's market, they may be very big. This was the biggest they had today at the grocery store, and they were all the same. I prefer buying smaller ones. If you get them too big, they're difficult to cut. And my gosh, one year they were so big, I almost asked my husband to go and grab the axe and cut my rutabagas because they were so difficult to cut. I had a hard time with a knife. So my recommendation is when you get to the grocery store, when you buy your rutabagas, grab the smaller ones. They're as good as the bigger ones. Just buy a little bit more and use them. You'll thank yourself because they're much easier to cut. You will need, for this recipe, you need 2.5 pounds of rutabaga, so that's about 2 large ones like this, or smaller ones to equal about 2 pounds of them of diced rutabagas. But this one is about a pound, so you'll need 2 of those of the big ones. Rutabagas are another staple of Quebec cuisine. I had them all the time growing up. My mom